Alrighty, hello and welcome back. This video, I'm going to discuss the speculation and apparent rumors that there is some type of incompatibility between Jared Kushner and Steve Bannon. Now, I have said numerous times in past videos that if Steve Bannon ever gets removed from the White House, from the staff, from his position as White House chief strategist, then I believe that the neocons have won. Because Steve Bannon is everything. He's the antithesis of the administrative state. He is the antithesis of the same old Washington, where the political rule tries to determine what they think is best for America. And America did not vote for status quo. They voted for change, which was Donald Trump. And Steve Bannon represents that change. So he was already relegated from his spot on the Security Council. He was now removed from that. Breitbart has defended Steve Bannon on that, but there is speculation. The speculation is that he and Jared Kushner are not seeing eye to eye. And Jared Kushner was responsible for having him relegated from the National Security Council. He was demoted. Like I said, this is speculation, so nobody actually knows if this is true. They being the media, of course, are trying to condemn Trump's presidency, his administration. They're trying to condemn him by stating that here's another prime example of how Trump cannot take care of his own administration. If he can't even take care of the people who work for him, how is he expected to take care of the country? And you will see that they will fixate on that for quite a while now. And the more roles that Jared Kushner is given, the more you will see the media try to delegitimize Steve Bannon's role in the White House. And eventually, I think that Trump may get rid of him. And I do not like that. That actually scares me. Unless there was sufficient extenuating circumstances that would give Trump a valid reason for removing Bannon, then I'd probably agree with it. But that would have to be a pretty substantial reason. And I should note that for whatever reason would be given that he was removed, it's possible that a lot of it just could be embellished. It could be lies or it could be extortions of truths. So he might have did this, but really they're saying he did more than that. Something to that effect. It should be noted that Steve Bannon is hated from all sides. All sides. The Republican establishment hates him because they think he's a racist who is demeaning Donald Trump's, and by default, the Republicans' name. And then the Democrats hate him because they also think he's a racist and a bigot, and they don't like Breitbart. Because Breitbart was responsible for essentially always denigrating their liberal news sites. I mean, Breitbart has been essentially ostracized out of the media, the spotlight of the media, as a right-wing, alt-right based political machine that is hell-bent on using violence and promoting violence as the tool for destroying the liberal agenda. And I understand that Milo Yiannopoulos was one of the editors there, but he's an entertainer. But his speeches do reinforce some of the arguments that the leftists have regarding Breitbart. So I can see the path that they looked at to kind of determine Bannon's character and his integrity. However, I think a lot of it is just embellishment, like I was saying earlier. So soon we will see. First, we should say that Jared Kushner has a lot of roles. I think Trump does like to speak a lot, and you can tell he really likes Jared. He really likes him, and he gave him the position of essentially bringing peace to the Middle East, reforming criminal justice system, the Washington Innovation Advisor. I mean, he has role after role after role, and it's no doubt that Trump thinks that Jared is extremely talented. But is Jared that talented? I mean, can he really initiate a ceasefire, initiate a peaceful resolution between Palestine and Israel? That might be tough. I don't know if you know your history, but that would be really tough. So I am worried though that Steve Bannon is slowly being ostracized out. That he is slowly, very slowly getting weaned out into the inner circle. Reince Priebus is also being denoted by the left. This is mostly from CNN, MSNBC. When I say the left, he is also being denoted out or denoted as being slowly removed out of the inner circle. And some of the things they base this off of do not really hold credence to that fact. An example of one of them is when Trump send missiles over to Syria. The room they were sitting in Mar-a-Lago, it had Jared Kushner on the table, and Bannon and Priebus were not allowed on the table. They were in the back. So they kind of used that as some justification to try to dictate that, well, they're out of the circle because they're not sitting on the table. But I mean, there were other people that weren't on the table either. So I'm not sure if you can really follow that. But this is speculation. But if it turns out to be true, then I do fear that we are witnessing a paradigm shift inside the Oval Office. The paradigm shift to get rid of the anti-establishment and convert into a more status quo establishment type apparatus. I guess we will see how things go in the future, but as of right now, if this is indeed the case, if Bannon is slowly being relegated out of his position and eventually be removed, then I think we can pretty much say that Jared Kushner has Donald Trump's ear, and he may not have the problem with Bannon, but people like McMaster's, who talked with neocons on many occasions, might. And all it takes is for one person to agree with Jared. Maybe Jared doesn't like Bannon, what he says sometimes. All they need is someone to back him up who Donald Trump trusts and who speaks to Donald Trump a lot. Because Donald Trump is impressionable. He does listen to people, especially his family members. So there could be some wiggle room for manipulation and invigoment there. That's something to keep an eye out. So we'll see how things come in the next few days. But as of now, this is speculation. I would not really hold it as positive because it probably won't happen. Just speculation from left-wing news outlets, but I figured I should share it. And I'm done.